There is a saying that I believe originated during the Great Depression, and it was use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. And I've been kind of trying to apply that to my household's budgeting and grocery shopping with things as expensive as they are. And it was really nice to find this recipe that actually allows you to make substitutions of things that you already have, either in your pantry or in your freezer. So I enjoyed making this and I wanted to share it with you. My name is Connie, and let's get right to it. So we start with 1 onion, and the recipe called for it to be chopped, but I sliced mine so it would hold up a little better in the crock pot. It also called for pepperoncini peppers, but they were a little pricey, so I defrosted and patted dry some red and green peppers that I keep in my freezer, which were just as nice. Instead of baby bellas, I used a can of these. You're going to use 2 pounds of chuck roast, or you can use stew meat according to the recipe. Trim the fat and cube it. Then you add 2 cups of beef broth, but actually, to be honest, I ended up using a little bit more just to make sure I covered everything. I made enough for the gravy. Of course, you can buy store-bought beef broth or use your own that you made like I did here. And you're going to add in your vegetables. Rather than use garlic powder, I chose to use minced garlic, but you can also use fresh garlic, and I ended up adding more of that. To the mixture, I drained the can first and added all the contents of the mushrooms. They look pretty in there. Salt and pepper. I also added thyme, dried. There was also some Worcestershire sauce, about 2 tablespoons. I actually added a little bit more, just because I thought it needed a little bit more flavor. Now, what I did forget to add, I didn't even have it in my cupboard, was mushroom powder, so I'll have to pick that up next time. Also into it was about a tablespoon of sugar, which was interesting. And in case you're wondering, these are what I use sometimes. Instead of spraying the crock pot, it's good for easy cleaning. I use 1 more cup of beef broth to dissolve the flour to add it for thickening. And here goes 1 bay leaf. Also, I added the teaspoon of thyme and a teaspoon of onion powder off camera. But as I said, I added more seasoning. Then I gave it a good stir, as best as you can do, because there's a lot in there. It's pretty dense, and the meat's at the bottom. So just to get everything, make sure everything was covered with the liquid as best as possible, and everything was mixed up well. Then I covered it, and you can either cook it on high, but I did it low for about 7 hours. Finally, an hour before it's finished, you take some of the beef broth and dissolve some cornstarch, add it also to the crock pot. This was also the time where I cut up the potatoes to make the mashed potatoes. And 1 more ingredient. I used this as it had given a nice flavor to one of my soups, and it's extra veggies. And here is the finished product. Right over some mashed potatoes. I went heavy on the gravy. It was delicious. By the way, if you don't have a crock pot, the recipe, which you'll find in a link below, also has instructions for doing it in an Instapot. I don't have an Instapot because I can't really justify it. But some people have it, so if you have it, you can use that instead if you prefer to do it that way. It was a hit in my house. My husband and I both liked it. It is very comfort foody. My husband said the only thing that he would change is that the next time to use also peas and carrots, which I agree would be a really nice touch. And maybe if I do pick up the pepperoncinis on sale, I'll get them. If not, I'll do them again with my peppers and onions also. So if you give it a try, please let me know what you thought about it. And if you liked my video, please like and subscribe. It helps my little channel. And I'll bringing you another recipe in the week to come, more or less, which is a little bit more economical. So until the next video, God bless, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for coming.